In an abusive relationship, the problem with promises after the emotional verbal abuse and or physical altercation, by Dr. Jeannie King. We've all heard it happens, and if you've ever been in an abusive relationship, you know those promises like the back of your hand. They seem so sweet in the first handful of rounds living in an abusive relationship, and all that happens in the relationship immediately after feels just the same. Real sweet, honeymoon sweet. You know there is a but coming here. I know you can feel it. But when one yields to the promises, here's what happens. A, for the abuser, abuser conditioning. Taking a person back after an assault, whether physical, emotional, or verbal, essentially sends a message that the abuser can get away with that level of abuse. This is part of how the stage is built for permission for the next altercation to magnify, to become more severe than the one before. Well, if I can get away with that, then B, for the abused, breeds false hope for the victim survivor. Why? Because the promise in and of itself is not what changes battering behavior. The promise fails to take into account the etiology of the assault. Again, whether verbal abuse, emotional abuse, or an outright physical assault. More often, it only yet dearly says, I won't do that anymore. Things will be different. C, for the couple entangled in an abusive relationship. It rekindles the status quo while diverting attention from the real issues. So in addition to complicating both parties' individual understanding of the altercation, it keeps the couple elephant under the carpet exquisitely covered so no one can see. Not those looking from the inside out, much less those looking from the outside in. If you find yourself face to face with one of these promises, be mindful of all of the implications that go hand in hand with it. The more you know earlier on, the less likely you will be a consequence, a victim of an abusive relationship spiraling out of control. For a deeper understanding of what keeps emotional verbal abuse going and what stops it, visit www.preventabusiverelationships.com and see the Intimate Partner Abuse screen. Dr. Jeannie King helps individuals, families, and healthcare professionals recognize and heal from domestic abuse.